Greetings. We remember our hero past. Greetings to our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. We appreciate them. We remember them. Wherever our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is today, he's not there because he want to be there. He is there just for the same reason that we all are fighting to restore Biafra every day. Our Prime Minister likewise was called for so-called questioning, not because he want to be there, just because our enemy don't want Biafra to come. In the case of our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he was kidnapped against his will. And the so-called terrorist country, the same reason why I'm in Washington, D.C. 2 days ago and today, the same reason I'll be going to Washington representing Brgie and the Biafran people at large for our freedom, for us to be free from a country, a lawless country called Nigeria. The court of Nigeria refused to release our leader, and they don't even have the right to try him. Upon that, the court of Nigeria have actually set him free years ago, and they still decide to keep him there because they don't obey their own law. And why some are rejoicing a few days ago that our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have now getting a new lawyer, a new justice who will be presiding over his case, of which they don't even have the right anymore. They don't have the jurisdiction. Because the so-called crime they say he committed, of which he committed no crime, did not even happen in Nigeria. For that, the same reason why he keep fighting. That is the same reason why we are pushing, why our activity, we are actually encouraging the United States of America to do the needful, to go hard they can, to make sure they bring Nigerian terrorist state to book. In just less than a few weeks, we met with the chair, of which this chairman can block arms to the country called Nigeria. And today, there is a committee called the CPC, that is country that persecute Christians. What we are doing is yielding results. And the chairman of this committee, Congressman Smith, we have met with him several times. Actually, 3 weeks ago, I met with him as well, of which we post, we tweet the pictures and briefly let Biafra know the reason why we have the meeting. We appreciate all he's doing, him and the committee, the Foreign Affairs Committee. Today, the case was brought to the Congress chamber about if Nigeria should go back to the CPC, which during the current president, J. Trump, during his previous administration, he lists Nigeria as part of country that persecute Christians. Why President Joe Biden enlist Nigeria. And the president that always know how to do the needful, that is our current president, Donald J. Trump. We believe he will do what is right to put Nigeria back to the terrorist country that they are, and to list Nigeria as country that persecute Christians. The hearing today, which lasted about 2 hours plus, which the media team, they're going to do some work on it today, so that they can enlighten Biafrans and educate Biafrans the real meaning of what just happened today. It's a win-win for Biafra. We are moving ahead. Nigeria is gone, and gone forever. Nigeria is never a country. Nigeria is a terrorist country, and will always remain a terrorist country. The hearing did not favor the Nigerian state. And there is some witnesses from Nigeria and some witnesses that have Caucasians that have visited Nigerians that are familiar about what is happening. When the bishop from Nigeria was asked if they will list Nigeria back to the CPC, it took him a while. And this so-called bishop, I believe, is from Kaduna Diocese or something. This is the same bishop from the zoo country called Nigeria, that a lot of his members have been killed. He found it difficult to say yes. He struggled, trying to work for those that sent him, that is the Nigerian state. When all these so-called bishops come down here to the United States, they don't come with the truth that their faith teaches. They are biased, compromised by the Nigerian state, because they have been paid by the Nigerian state. That reminds me when I still met with this Congressman Smith a while ago, around September last year. He said something like that about all these so-called bishops. When they come to Washington, they tell them a different story. I met a couple congressmen that verify that as well. When all these so-called bishops from that terrorist country come down to Washington, D.C., instead of saying the truth, of which the Bible said, speak the truth, and the truth will set you free. Rather, they abandon the Bible and the teachings, and they come here and lie because of bribery and corruption. These bishops struggle to say yes, but at the end of the day, the congressmen, they did a good job by putting pressure after all the evidence, of which I will say this bishop, yes, is 90%. He cannot lie no more. The God of Biafra, of the innocent Biafrans that be killed, innocent indigenous of that country, arrested this bishop, that he had no option to agree. Unfortunately, we have a Biafran there called Oge, but not Ogechukwu. This lady, after the hearing, I tried to approach her, tried to talk some sense on her. The way she looked at me, If she has something that she can just put me to sleep right there, she will do it. She's so angry. It even happened when I first walked in the room. All the Nigerians, the one Nigerian is in the room, they felt my presence. They were like, what is this man doing here? They were like, what is this Biafran man doing here? Not knowing that our activity is making it happen. Nigeria will be going back to the CPC list, and the Congress, they deliberate a lot, of which when the media team does some work, they have a lot of work to do and to really analyze the video of what happened. They deliberate even to the extent of stripping the Nigerian government officials visa bans to the United States, their debit cards. Zoo is gone. Nigeria is gone and gone forever. Why I decide to deliver this message to Biafran people today is for everyone to wake up, sit up. Freedom is not given, rather freedom is taken. If you think they're going to hand over freedom in a platter of gold to you and me, you are joking. This morning, I woke up around after 3 a.m. to prepare for this hearing. I want to make sure I'll be there to witness what happened. It's all about sacrifice. If I have not sacrificed to do this, I know someone else will. But at the same time, when you sacrifice to work for your people, you have to be determined. I don't normally wake up at that time, but I do. Because the freedom of Biafra is not negotiable. I'm glad I make it. I'm glad I'm a witness there. I'm glad Biafran presence show in that room. Once I step in with my pink flag, they know Biafra is there. With this here, they know the symbol and what we stand for. The Nigerian zoo terrorist country, if we can't fight from home, we fight from diaspora. We will bring that country down. Our actions, what we do, because we don't believe in Nigeria. There's one of the congresswomen, after she finished speaking on her way out, she looked at me and said, thanks for coming. I also use that opportunity, walk out in the hallway and educate her more about what is going on. It's way more than what they think. I gave her an example of US, Canada, Venezuela, Mexico, Cuba. What about if you bring these 5 countries together and decide to make them one country? There will be a problem because of dangerous diversity, religion, ideology of who they are or who we are. Our education that we have been educating members of Congress in few months and years past is paying off. I must use this opportunity as well to acknowledge the moral global strategist, Elias, and former Congressman Jim Moore. We appreciate them. They are doing a good job. We are happy we have them. We are happy they are working for Biafrans. My message to you today, Biafrans, both our leaders will be out. We saw the tweet from the AGOV, the Ambazonia Governing Council, from their Twitter handle S, about the decisions 2 days ago from the Norwegian authority or from the Norwegian court. Dr. Shaw Yoba is just fighting for his people to be free. The judge asked for his release, but they are still playing politics. But at the end of the day, Dr. Shaw Yoba will be released. He will be free because he's fighting to free his people from bondage. And that is a good news for us, we Biafrans. Norway and Finland, they both in Nordic country. Our Prime Minister as well, when it comes to him, the judge will also release him. We know that. Because if the Nigerian terrorist state have not come to kill Biafrans, have not come to Islamize Biafrans, have not marginalized us, treat us in all inhumane manner, our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa will not have taken the assignment to fight for his people. It's because of the killing that the Nigerian state have been killing Biafrans way before 1967. That is the reason why our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa said, hey, no, he will fight for Biafra. He will defend his Biafra people. If they stop the killing and let us go, all that will stop. Our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, our actions will be what we release him. Biafra coming, we free him. If we are waiting for the Nigerian state to set him free, we have to wake up from our sleep. Dr. Shaw Yoba, 2021, he said, if you expect justice from the court of your oppressor, you are joking. So that's the reason why we have to fight. We have to be more aggressive. We have to wake up, Biafra. I don't really like when someone feed me or want to take care of me. I love when I feed myself. When I work hard to be who I want to be. I don't like to beg. We Biafrans, I believe, we don't like to beg. We don't like no one to feed us, pamper us. We need allies. We want to be recognized. We want countries like United States to do the right thing and be on our side and recognize we Biafrans. And at the same time, we need to make the job easy for them. We need to let them know we are ready to go. We need to be more aggressive. And we need to show more love within ourselves. Biafra is here. And Washington, D.C. are talking about Biafra. Our actions, what we have been doing, is paying off. Nigeria, Nto, Biafra, Allah, we are going home. Biafra must be free. Don't let no one deceive you. Be more aggressive. Fight for your freedom. Support your freedom. Financially, physically, mentally, and otherwise. Love your fellow Biafrans. Love yourself. And stop in-house fight. A lot of us have sacrificed a lot, and we are still sacrificing to make sure our motherland, our dear country, Biafra, is totally restored. Our sovereignty is not negotiable. Years ago, Obama said, Nigeria's unity is not negotiable. And that is a lie. Biafra freedom is not negotiable. When I walk in the hearing room today, the energy of Biafra was shaking the room. All the one Nigerians there, when they turn around, look at me, I smile inside me. I'm like, look at all these fools. They think they know it all. And while I'm there, I notice a lot of moving around, all these paid agents of Nigeria, exchanging their card with some of the members of the Congress, trying to see if they can buy their way out. That will not work, because the God of Biafra is at work. If you're a Biafra, a genuine Biafra for that matter, be proud of yourself. Be proud of who you are. Not like that of our Sabo sister called Oge something. When she was asked, what did she have to say about if Nigeria should be back to the CPC? She couldn't answer. She couldn't answer. It's heartbreaking that some fellow Biafrans have sold their soul to the devil. And people like that, the land of Biafra will not forgive them. Fellow Biafrans, it's a good day for Biafra. It's a win-win for us, because Nigeria is going back to the CPC. They're going back as country that persecute Christians, and all these arms that have been going to the Nigerian state will stop. And the aids, we will fight, do whatever we can to make sure that no aids go to the Nigerian state. Because any aid they receive, that aid, they don't channel that aid to the proper reason why that aid was given to them. Thank you, fellow Biafrans. We all need to wake up, rise up, support what we are doing financially. We need to be more aggressive so that the world will talk about us. So we'll be the topic in Washington, D.C., all over the world. Do I cannot know woto if you can, in your own way. If you can't, use a German to support the woto. That is our code. Use your money to support your freedom. It's not a crime. If you can support your freedom financially, spiritually, otherwise, freedom is freedom. It doesn't matter how you get it. Bring your German. Let's finish this. Can you imagine the richness of the terrorist country called Nigeria? Over 60 to 70% is from Biafra land. And this so-called useless terrorist country of so-called Nigeria, zoo, animal kingdom, even animal world is better than that. Damn country, shithole country. A country where they have no sewage system. A country that have no good infrastructure. A country where the school system have fallen to dustbin. A country where the president will flew abroad for treatment. If you are one Nigerian is listening to me, you are a fool. Is that the kind of country you want to be proud of? Please, fellow Biafrans, it's time for us to finish this fight. So wherever our leader is, Odumegwu Ojukwu, be proud of us, be happy that the journey, what he started, at the end of the day, we did not let it die off. So that Philip Effiam, our leader, we said, yes, I said it. If the Biafrans are not well treated, they will rise up again to fight for their freedom, for what they believe. And for all the saboteurs, stop fighting who is fighting for you. We have one common enemy, the terrorist state of Nigeria. Nigeria is enemy to the international community. If they are not, why is it that the United States of America want to put them back to the CPC as country that persecute Christians? It's just the beginning. It's an evil empire. Nigeria is a scam. We use the opportunity to plead with the United States of America. Please don't send no aid to Nigeria. Whether it's humanitarian aid, they will use that aid to arm the terrorists. They will use that aid to arm the terrorists, to fight the Christians and the Biafrans, of which, when you talk about Christians, Biafrans are over 60% Christian majority in that contraption. Thank you, fellow Biafrans. And honorable of information, please, if you can just briefly just play just few clips of the video before I leave, because I have another engagement, and some of the pictures that was taken today. We appreciate you all, Biafrans, have been doing the needful. Just like our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, said, why are you all fighting? Who is fighting to help bring Biafra? Why our enemies? Why are you all stabbing us behind? Why are you all fighting the lobbies? If you are one of those, that means you are one Nigeria. That means the CPC, you are among the CPC group of companies. Stop fighting who is working for Biafra. Thank you. Thank you. Honorable of Minister of Information, Mazi Sonia Barawa, thanks for all you're doing. Yeah, just please show some of the clips before I leave, because I have another engagement, and I'll be leaving very soon. Thank you.
Thank you, APM. I think we have played some of the clips at the beginning of the broadcast. Maybe that time you did not get it, but let's play it.
So I do think that giving hope, sustaining the people during this period is important, but it's also important to correct the problem, because this is a man-made problem of extremist owners. It's no way to run a country. So the beauty of CPC is that so I do think that
these congressmen, with their good judgment, they've done a good job today. They all recognize the danger of the terrorist zoo country. They all recognize that Nigeria is a scam. Nigeria is 419. They all recognize the need Nigeria, why the need for Nigeria to be back as a country that terrorize or persecute Christians. This congressman is from my own district of Baltimore. We'll be connecting about the issue of freedom, about the issue of Biafra. Biafrans, we all need to wake up, rise up. All these congressmen and women, none of them say anything positive about Nigeria. If they are condemning Nigeria, why then are you supporting Nigeria? Why then are you not condemning Nigeria? If you are Biafra, just like the Sabo Biafra that was there to be a witness, she's from one think tank group, paid up think tank group, and this bishop here from, I believe, Kaduna or somewhere, fake bishop. This is how they scam us in our land. I'm a Christian. I'm not against religion, but over 99% of the religions, the Christian leaders are fake. They don't represent God. They don't. Thank you all from here. I salute the Biafra Republic government in exile. We appreciate all you are doing. Biafran people love you all. We will be strong together, not divided. If you're still standing behind this fence or beside the fence, come down from where you are and save your land, work for your people. Biafra need you. Look at the members of the Congress in this hearing. They are not Biafrans, but they are there speaking to save the life of Christians. And what about you that call yourself a Christian Biafran? You can't speak. You can't talk about how to free your people. And while we have Oge, not Oge Chukwu, that young lady right there, the way she look at me, if she have poison, she will actually, if just touching at me will put me to sleep, she will do it. When I first walk in the room, the energy of Biafra touch all the one Nigerians, they scatter. Thank you all from here, Honorable of Minister of Information. I will be exiting, so please just kindly go play the full video and educate Biafrans the reason why we should be happy and rejoice, showing that that means what we are doing in Washington is paying off. Thank you, Ndeo.
Thank you, APM. You may exit. We will continue playing this and we will start our analysis.
Nigeria as a country of particular concern pursuant to the International Religious Freedom Act. I would like to recognize myself for an opening comment, and we'll yield to my friend and colleague, Ms. Jacobs, for any opening comments she might have, and members of the subcommittee. According to the Catholic News Agency and EWTN News, quote, Archbishop Ignatius Kagama is concerned over the seemingly endless violence against Christians that claimed at least 58 lives this past weekend and hundreds of others in recent weeks. It is our prayer, he said, that something definitive will be done to stop the situation that is inhuman. Shockingly, that was more than a dozen years ago and part of my opening remarks at a hearing that I held on July 10th, 2012, one of several hearings, 8 in all, on religious persecution in Nigeria, and since then, things have only gotten worse. 1 year later, in 2013, I visited Archbishop Kagama in Jos, Nigeria. We visited churches, 5 of them that had been recently firebombed by Boko Haram, and spent hours listening to survivors tell their stories. Despite their numbing loss and pain, I was absolutely amazed at the survivors, about their faith, very deep faith, their courage and the resilience. They were not going to quit, but they were looking to the government for help, and it was not coming. I also met with an evangelical believer named Habila Adamu. Dragged from his home by Boko Haram terrorists, he was ordered to renounce his faith. With an AK-47 pressed to his face, he was asked, "Are you ready to die as a Christian?" With extraordinary courage, Habila answered, "Yes, I am ready to die as a Christian." He was asked a second time, and he repeated his answer. His wife was pleading, "Please don't kill my husband." And yet he said, "Yes, I am ready to die as a Christian." This time, the terrorist pulled the trigger. A bullet ripped through Habila's face. He crumpled to the ground, bleeding profusely, left for dead. By some miracle, he survived. I met him in an IDP camp in Jos. I asked him to come to Washington to tell his story. He did. And at the congressional hearing, he said this to our subcommittee, this subcommittee: "I am alive because God wants you to have this message. Knowing Christ is so much deeper than merely knowing Boko Haram's story of hate and intolerance." He closed his testimony with this: "Do everything you can to end this ruthless religious persecution, but know Christ first." To the end, everything he did was to witness, to radiate his love for God, but he was also calling on us to get involved and do something. Since then, however, the wanton violence against Christians in Nigeria has grown significantly worse. A couple of days ago, the Pillar Catholic reported, and I quote, "While Christians are receiving ashes last Wednesday to begin Lent, news broke out in Nigeria that a priest had been brutally murdered by kidnappers who had stormed his rectory the night before and kidnapped him. With deep sorrow and righteous indignation, I condemn in the strongest terms the relentless and tragic wave of kidnappings targeting priests, pastoral agents, and the faithful," Bishop Kundi said in a March 7th, just a couple days ago, press conference, which expressed outrage over the kidnaps and the brutal murder of his priests. According to the sources in the diocese, Father Sylvester was bound by his kidnappers. He was shot in the head, and I saw the picture. It is heartbreaking to look at, shot at close range with an assault rifle, and according to the officials of his diocese. The systematic slaughter and abuse of Nigerian believers must stop. Delay is denial and a death sentence to so many. One of our distinguished witnesses today, Bishop Wilfred Anagbe, of the Diocese of Nkere, Nigeria, traveled a long distance to be with us today and will testify, and this is from his testimony. Militant Fulani herdsmen are terrorists. They steal and vandalize. They kill and boast about it. They kidnap and rape, and they enjoy total impunity for this from the elected officials. None of them, I repeat his quote, none of them have been arrested and brought to justice. In December of 2020, President Trump designated Nigeria as a country of particular concern, only to be reversed without justification by Secretary Blinken in November of 2021. And I know I asked him at hearings. I asked him privately, but also asked him at open hearings, why? Never got a good answer. Religious leaders in Nigeria were outraged by the Secretary's decision. One Nigerian bishop challenged the Secretary and said, Christian persecution is more intense than ever. And that was Bishop Mamza. And Genocide Watch has called Nigeria a killing field of defenseless Christians, quote unquote. Yet the government of Nigeria has failed to make progress against religiously motivated persecution of Christians, despite religious freedom being enshrined as an essential human right in their constitution. Likewise, Nigerian legal framework supports pluralism at both federal and state levels, but glaring contradictions exist, especially with laws that criminalize blasphemy, some even carrying the death penalty. The U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom, USCIRF, was, quote, appalled that the State Department did not redesignate Nigeria as a country of particular concern. USCIRF had recommended, and we have the former chairman here, Tony Perkins, had recommended this designation 4 years in a row, from 2021 to 2024, and said, quote, there is no justification as to why the State Department continues to fail to redesignate Nigeria as a CPC. And again,